plaintiff, Melinda Monson, says the defendant is her brother, but they only met 11 years ago. At that time, Melinda claims the defendant was horrible to her and constantly put her down, and she is still traumatized by his words. Melinda is suing her brother for the cost of a car and stolen money. Defendant Gary Vargasser says Melinda is so irresponsible that she went from living under a bridge to now living in their father's tool shed. Gary claims Melinda spends all of her money on marijuana, LSD, and ecstasy, and he's countersuing her for slander.
Start with you.
Your Honor, Gary's the most difficult person I have ever met in my life, and it's really unfortunate that I have to say that because he's my brother. I met him 11 years ago, and from day one, he just treated me horribly. He said horrible things to me. He's played really mean-spirited pranks, like making it look like he was hurting my cat while I was locked outside of the house. He's just done completely horrible things to me, and it stresses me out so much that I just can't take any more abuse from him.
How often were you seeing him in the past 11 years?
Every couple years or so when I came out to visit my family, my dad's side of the family in California.
Was anyone else around that you could associate with other than him?
Yes, my dad was there. I was spending time with him and my dad.
Why'd you associate with him? We all have family members that we may have some animosity toward, or that may be abusive towards you, or may have stolen your money and ran off with your money to feed their drug addiction, but then you see them on the family set, so you just stay away from them and mingle with the other family members.
Yeah, but he's my brother, and I've also had conversations with him over the phone and stuff, and we've made plans together to stay in an apartment with me, him, and my fiance, Justin Campbell.
So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but
you
when I
wouldn't do
actually
all
tried
that with someone who was abusing you every time you saw them? All right, go ahead, though.
Sorry.
Go ahead, give me some background.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, my sister is very irresponsible. I mean, for instance, she's gone from living under a bridge to now she's residing in my father's tool shed.
I lived under a bridge because you stole so much money.
Let me finish, ma'am. You wouldn't give me any more information, so
now, any income that either her or her fiance get, they don't contribute to the household. They spend on
Which household?
Drugs. The household that they're living at, my father's household.
Okay.
They're living in his tool shed.
Okay.
Yes. Now, she spends any income that they get on drugs, on ecstasy, LSD, marijuana. That was her main purpose for coming to California, was so that she can smoke marijuana freely and get her medical marijuana license.
They have marijuana everywhere. What are you talking about?
Right.
She came to California so she can get marijuana.
But it's so that she can more freely do it by purchasing a medical marijuana license.
Gotcha. Where was she living before that?
In Philadelphia.
Okay. Go ahead.
With her mother. Now, I did meet her when I was 11 years old, and we've been building our relationship ever since then.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Anything else?
I mean, it's been like a roller coaster, honestly. Sometimes we'd have good experiences. We'd have fun together. We'd go to the malls and go shopping or whatever. Okay. But a lot that I remember is just, I remember so many of the things that he said to me, and it just brings tears to my eyes.
Give me an example.
It makes me want to just curl up in a corner.
Tell me one of them.
Tell
me the one that calls you to curl up in the corner.
Well, actually,
not funny. I want to hear if it's that as devastating as you're saying. Tell me what.
Just stuff like calling me a stupid and just telling me that it's just very hard for me to remember the exact words, but he has.
Your witness wants to speak. Do you want him to speak?
Yeah, he.
All right, come on up.
Yep.
State your name.
Justin Campbell.
What do you want to tell me?
She got bit by a dog about 2 years ago, and he calls her a freak and calls her a circus freak. And there's
Did she curl up in the corner that time?
Yeah, she does.
You did see her?
She cries at least once a month over
she
this.
Curl over
yes, she does.
But you putting out other women in public doesn't make her feel bad about herself?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Ma'am, let me just give you a piece of advice. Anyone that makes you cry every month, please end your association with them because you might harm your health.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's get to the car. Tell me about the car.
The car. Well, I got settlement from my dog. I got a settlement from my dog bite accident, and Gary convinced me to buy a car for my cousin. I wrote out a credit check for $3,100 to buy it. Now, Gary had a driver's license at the time, and I didn't. So I allowed him to register the car in his name with an agreement. He'd pay me back half, and we could share it once I had my license. Now, we took the car to a festival in Las Vegas with a friend and with his friend and Justin here. I was just so fed up by the way he was behaving towards me and Justin the entire festival, plus the fact that he kept asking me to spend more and more money, buy more and more things. He ended up selling the car over a year later and has not given me any money for it.
All right, what about the stolen money?
The stolen money was a wire transfer. I sent that to him in November 2011.
For what?
For a deposit on an apartment.
How much?
$2,000. He ended up using the money to bail himself out of jail.
He admitted to that?
Yes.
And did he say he would repay you?
Yes, he did say that at first.
And did he change his mind later?
Yes, he did.
Sir, you want to respond to the $3,100
Absolutely.
for the car?
2 months before my 21st birthday is when we went to said festival. She bought this car for me as a gift because I said, look, my 21st birthday is coming up. You got a bunch of money right now, sis. Why don't you help a brother out? You know, let me buy me a car. We can drive this car there, and I can have a
brother
car
or help
when we're done.
your brother?
Me, like, you know, you're like, you know, like,
Okay.
no.
Go ahead.
Now,
maybe you misunderstood.
Right. Apologize. But anyway, so the car was bought as a gift for me. She had a nervous breakdown. She completely vanished. I did not know where to find my sister. And right before that, I had found her on top of the Monte Carlo parking structure, threatening to kill herself.
Okay. Why do you think she's alleging now that the car was not a gift?
Because me and her boyfriend have had several physical altercations.
How long ago did she first try and collect money from you?
I'd say about a year ago.
And what did you say?
I said, why would I need to pay you back when this was given to me?
Okay, and how did she respond to that?
Well, you're coming into money, you're gonna be getting a settlement on your 21st birthday, you should give me money back because I'm broke now.
Okay. Did that conversation
No, that did
occur?
not happen. May I please?
No, let me allow him to finish. All right, the stolen money she's accusing you of. Did she wire you money for an apartment and you used it to bail yourself out and you promised to repay her and haven't?
No, I never promised to repay her. Yes, she did wire me money
For
to get on my feet.
the apartment?
For the apartment, yes.
And you appropriated the money for something else.
Yeah, and
That's called conversion. You converted it to another use.
Right.
You've done something with the money that you shouldn't have, so
Okay.
you must repair the loss. You must restore the loss, don't you think?
no, because there was never a written agreement. She
You don't
was
have to have a
giving
written
me this
agreement.
money. She had given
Sir,
me this money,
if you
though.
take someone's money and you use it for the wrong purpose, you've essentially converted their money for another use. And that is called theft. So you owe the $2,000. Let's get back to the car, ma'am, because I'm not quite clear yet on the ownership of the car.
Your Honor, I have never told Gary that the car is a gift. We had an agreement to share the car, and he would pay me back
You
half.
did have something you wanted to show me there.
Yes, I do. I have some text messages, and I also have an audio recording from Gary.
Okay.
And here's a picture of the car, too.
Okay. Give it all to me. Does your witness want to speak? State your name.
Nathan Clevenger.
What do you want to tell me?
Well, from my brief relationship with Monica, or Melinda, no, I thought she was a personal person at first, but after the altercation with her boyfriend, how he was disrespecting her and putting hands on her, I kind of stepped in and I was like, you better stop. And after that, we ended up getting in a fight. We took him down, and then he got escorted out of EDC from the police. And after that, when we got back, she started singing a different tune about how he's gonna owe her all this money for the car, because she was saying that how she was a good person for bringing the car for him.
All right. I do see one sentence, ma'am, that...
Well, it's the voice recording that's important.
Okay, why don't you play that?
Yes, I'll play it.
First message. Poor little Melinda sitting in Meadowbrook. Aw, am I supposed to feel bad for you? Because I really don't. Be quiet and go back to your shit. Yeah, be quiet and go back to your shit. I mean, come on. Like, do you really think that you are going to make me feel bad about anything? Because you're not. Because I don't. I don't, not at all. Not even a little bit. Next message. Did I buy cookies? Oh, wait, you don't have any money. You can't buy any cookies. No, I think you could. I think I did. You're me. Hang on. Take all that girl's money, girl. I don't know. She was stupid. She fell for it. Oh, my God. Weirdo. End of message.
All right. What did you mean by she fell for it?
She keeps, when I was staying in Ohio with my other sister, she kept calling me all the time like, oh, I beat myself in the head and I'm hurting myself because of the way that you've treated me. And I was just like, you give me way too much, you put too much energy towards me. You really need to just let all this go. The fact that you're broke, I think, is really starting to affect you.
No, you weren't talking to her. You were talking to someone else, saying that she fell for it, meaning I conned her.
No.
Yeah, that's what it typically means. That's why I'm asking for an alternative meaning.
Well,
when you say a person fell for it, that means you ran some con on them. That you defrauded them. Also, I see a sentence, I wish I could start, I repay you, but you never want to talk to me. Slander, how does she owe you for slander?
Because her and her boyfriend have been texting me, telling me all kinds of things, telling my family that I'm a liar, I'm a thief, that I manipulated her out of this money, that,
That's it?
Yep.
The number one defense to defamation is truth. And she said you were a liar, a manipulator, and a thief. And all three are true. Judgment for the plaintiff, your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Gary's manipulated me for the last time years ago, and I will not let him do it again. I feel horrible bringing my brother to court, but this is something that had to happen for me to get reimbursed with what I should have had in the first place.
Well, I just certainly hope that $5,000 you won doesn't go as quickly as your $50,000 did.